I think the what you have is
so
fine.
you got so you got that's
All right.
the best. The Kevon Looney thing is a good
my apology could be being sick last week.
Sure.
And I was sick.
Is that
Come
do
on.
we have anything else?
Me?
Yeah, as far as an apology.
I
mean, we've done the I'm sorry I missed the show apology.
I could apologize for once upon a time hating Udonis Haslem's contract, because I'm pretty sure on this show I've said why
perfect.
we kept.
Let's do that.
There you
Let's
go.
do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Perfect. We good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast NBA podcast. My name is Keith. Here, once again, with my buddies through the miracle of computer phone. I'm here with Chuck Anderson.
Hey now.
A triumphant return for Chuck Anderson. And
Gang.
with John Burr.
I didn't have to do like a crappy version of Hey Now. I feel like a weight has been lifted. Atlas Shrugged, Chuck.
Wait. I do the crappy version of Hey Now.
No,
Oh,
John,
point.
the last two episodes, very perplexingly for any listener. Like it confused me, and I'm here every
Including
single
Keith,
show.
who has
He
to
said,
listen.
now, hey.
Now,
And I'm like, what does that even mean? No one
Why?
knows what that means. Like, why would you do that? Just say hello. You can just say, hey. Like,
Aloha.
we
all
don't
those
have to
other
have
weird things.
catchphrases. I mean, Chuck stole Hank Kingsley's, but it's fine. It's
I
now
feel like
become
Hey
delightful.
Now. I just see it everywhere.
Is that true?
Yeah, like there's like a comedy podcast
You're welcome.
called Kill Tony, where the band always says "Hey Now." I
You-
think it's,
you know we have a policy. I have to now bleep out you mentioning other podcasts.
Oh, you're right. That
What in
one
the
probably
world?
should be bleep. I think that's like a cancelable offense, actually.
Okay,
I think I'm
all
not
right.
supposed to be listening to that anymore. So
Yeah, you're probably
not. What
John-
can I do? I watch the Royal Rumble with him every year. That's that's how I know him.
We have to tell people who aren't seeing this on YouTube, you are not in the normal locale. You, based on the Zoom screen I am seeing, you are at the Boogie Nights house. There's a
Yep.
pool behind you with was that a float or is that like a rotating piece of furniture? What's going on?
I'm about to go ask
You're on
some
a patio.
17 to 21-year-old men to unfurl and unload what's in their trousers. I want to see those armadillos. I want to see what's going on. I'm Jack Horner, basically.
Anyone listening to this on like their Bose noise cancellation can probably hear that you're on a marble floor. I can
Yeah.
I mean, I can just tell like, oh, you're not in your house. Like there is
No.
those sound waves are bouncing off of like, I assume statues.
Boomy.
My question is, what kind of like acrobatic work did you have to do to get this Zoom background shot like set up? Because this is the most impressive background any of us have ever Zoomed with. And it seems like a very strange place to put a desk.
I will
Like-
start topping this on a regular basis.
That's what's up. I
just
love to
need
see the
keep
glow up, baby.
upgrading this.
I love to see this. I want you like from the I want you to come from Mykonos or Mykonos or someplace in Greece where
If
they name
we ever
With DJ
podcast
Ronnie
in the
Cycli?
day,
Yeah.
if we ever podcast during the day on one of my LA trips again, I will astound you.
Let's do it.
I am disappointed, and I know describing Zoom backgrounds is excellent audio content, but I will be expecting there to be extras walking behind you at the pool the next time we
Yeah.
do this. There should be a
Yeah.
party happening right now. This is the party from La La Land or something should
This-
be going on at this pool right behind you with choreographed swimming and diving.
My Los Angelino existence is pretty, if it can be, considering it's also fun, but it's also during COVID times, it's kind of post-apocalyptic, like end of the world-ish at times. Like
I think
sometimes
that's
I'm just
the whole world, John.
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
anywhere that's not post-apocalyptic right now? Actually, there is.
Well,
I tried to go
so-
to a T-Mobile store today. It was packed. No one was wearing a mask.
Well,
Not
see,
any of the employees or the customers.
we're in Nashville, so I'm used to people not treating this seriously, and now
Yes.
I'm in like a place that treats it very seriously. So it's very, to me it's night and day for myriad reasons.
Well, I'm glad you're safe, and I'm glad you're on location from the Notorious B.I.G. music video "Juicy."
Lil Kim's gonna saunter by
I
soon.
love it. And a leopard
Amazing.
print bikini.
John, while you're in LA, have you had a
Now she has a
breakfast?
leopard face.
Have you gotten a
Yes.
good LA breakfast now that you're back out there with the better vegan food?
In a Grim Augury, I had a very I had a large, and we might have a lengthy one later, croissant.
Oh. Was it bigger than the football size chocolate croissant I got from the Panera recently? It was the size of a football, size of my hand.
Yeah, that's just American idiocy writ large right there. No, this was a legit. So it was like, I don't know, smaller than my football shaped head. More like a rugby ball, I guess.
Yeah. Chuck, what was your breakfast back here? You're in Nashville.
So I'm back on my vegan A's. I've been doing, I can't tell you, but it's a shake. It's a subscription based vegan plant-based shake that I do. I did that this morning. But I went to the opening of this spot in Nashville. It's a vegan biscuit place called Gorilla Biscuits, but they spell the biscuits like Limp Biscuit.
Whoa.
And
is that even legal?
I don't know, but it's gorilla like Che Guevara, not gorilla like Harambe.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
I feel like Gorilla Biscuit is some sort of euphemism that Keith needs to delete.
Yeah, that's a lot going on in that name.
So much going on. They have cool merch. Their stickers are fire. I have one, but it's on the back of my laptop, so you can't see it right now. But it's basically their name in that like death metal font. That's all like.
Of course, that's how I was seeing it. This is showing my age and demographic. I find that name repellent.
Right.
Like I'm like, oh, I shouldn't go there. They don't want me there.
Yes. They were a pop-up here in Nashville for a while, and they just opened a brick and mortar and me and
so they're going out of business.
Yes. So in my experience, that's how it works. I was first in line. We got the first biscuits from their pop-up when they opened on Tomato Fest Day the other week. So it was lit.
That's
good. They have these like jalapeno berry biscuits. They're fire. They're
sounds
incredible.
amazing.
Everything vegan butter, all this stuff you can put on.
That sounds great, but I would never know because of their name would keep me far, far away.
Right. You would think that it's some sort of like parody, like 90s, like
it's like that restaurant near me
band.
that's like trying to be a fancy restaurant, and they named themselves Cinema, and they set themselves up inside an old abandoned cinema, but they named themselves Cinema as an SIN. Like sin, and I was like, I can't. That's too cool. Sorry, can't.
It's trash.
Can't go for it.
If I hear the word gorilla in the context of the last 2 to 3 weeks, I'm not hungry. I'm sad. So I get it. I get you. For once, I'll agree with Keith. That doesn't make me hungry. I just think about guerrilla warfare and people falling off of planes, and I don't even want a jalapeno dingleberry biscuit.
Yeah, it's pretty horrifying.
It was good.
My breakfast, very traditional, very amazing. A bowl of the GOAT Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Didn't mess around. It is the undisputed champion of breakfast cereals, and it was amazing.
I got more breakfast talk for us though.
Oh,
because I need an approval or disapproval. I got a guy working for me here who eats
approval
a bowl of cereal with scoops of ice cream in it.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, fire!
So you guys have done this before?
Yes.
When I was 8.
So I gave this guy a lambasting, as you're wont to do, as I'm wont to do, and told him that there's no way that anyone has ever done this ever, and that people don't do this. So you guys have both done it.
Yeah.
Have you been to an ice cream store, John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a Maggie Moo's, the Milk Bar, and the Cosmopolitan.
I just didn't know this because we ordered ice cream later that day via Uber Eats, and in the drop-down menu there were like 16 cereal options.
Yeah.
So you guys have known about this, and we've had a breakfast podcast for 17 years, and no one's had cereal ice cream.
I'm not gonna tell you what a strawberry banana smoothie is either, because I would assume you would have figured that
But
out.
I feel like we've eaten that over the course of the lifespan of the show. No one's done it.
That's John. I do hear what you're saying. That at some point I should have said,
Like, Keith,
you know
you
what?
let me
For
down,
breakfast, I
basically.
had raisin bran with ice cream instead of milk.
Yeah, like how can this not have happened? Like
Yeah.
this
So
is
that-
like
that part- that
this
part's
is like
fair.
a glitch in the Matrix, or like that part
Yeah.
in the Truman Show where I'm like, this isn't real because Keith should have
What
would
is
have
his
done this.
what
if Keith
is
were
his
real.
cereal of choice? Did you know? Like, did you see what he ate with his cereal and put ice cream on it?
I could go look. I know it was vanilla ice cream. It was some like healthy granola style cereal.
I mean,
Oh,
I
ice cream and
believe-
granola is great. I mean, what? Yeah.
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 I believe I shared eating a Rice Krispie treat ice cream sandwich on the show a while back, which should have like tied you in if you didn't know those two things go
Probably.
together.
Yeah.
I mean, for
I'm
some reason
almost
that
sure.
makes sense to me. This was just insane to me, but then later Uber Eats. I mean, I was like, well, I guess the joke's on me.
I mean, most cereals nowadays are just candy toppings that should be
Sure.
put on top of a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah. It's the way it should be.
So,
Like the first one that came up was Apple Jacks, and I knew my goose was cooked.
oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's a deep cut. Apple
Yeah.
Jacks is not even a top 10 cereal.
What's the Chuck? I feel like you have the cooking knowledge. What's the perfect
Mhm.
pairing? I don't think it's vanilla ice cream. What would be the perfect ice cream pairing with Apple Jacks?
Apple Jacks, ooh, man. I would go
Cinnamon?
maybe
Well,
like a,
They're already cinnamony.
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
I would go like maybe like a Rocky Road. It would be good with like some
Oh,
chocolate.
with like a chocolate in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All
It
right.
would be funky. It'd be funky. Or some maybe like orange sherbet or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what, like, either super chocolatey or lean into the fruit. That would be my go.
It's now I'm
Make
getting
it extra
hungry.
fruity.
This is what I
Oh,
want. This is what I
Sorry.
want.
All of this sounds
I
so
know.
bad to me.
Anyway, those were our breakfasts. After our breakfasts, we move to our breakfast in bed apologies. This is our chance to make right what we might have gotten wrong on a previous episode. It is frequently the first time we talk about the NBA. Does anyone have anything that they need to apologize for? Chuck, what's your apology?
Well, I'm not going to apologize for missing last week's show because I had laryngitis, so y'all can eat a bowl of something.
Apple Jacks
but
with
Apple Jacks
maybe
with
peach ice cream?
Peach could
Maybe
be
with
peach.
minoxidil for Chuck's throat.
Isn't that what Rogaine's made out of?
Yeah, I was trying to say amoxicillin.
Oh, okay. Why am I trying to grow
What?
hair
You
in
need
my
some
larynx?
minoxidil too, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For real.
Hey, listen, I've heard that fights the COVID. So I mean,
That's it. Let's do it.
Ooh.
No, the Heat signed Udonis Haslem to a 1-year deal,
as they do.
as they do, veteran minimum, his 19th year in the NBA. And I want to apologize to you, D, because I didn't really get it for a long time. You need him around when you have high expectations. In the last 3 years, last year after the finals run, they needed to keep him. When you got Jimmy Butler, you needed to keep him because you had some younger guys. Duncan Robinson hadn't proved himself yet. Tyler Hero hadn't proved himself yet. He's here to establish El Futuro, boys. And it's a necessary thing to have him now. In the past, I was like, well, we could have developed a player with that.
if you're apologizing for me having to hear Heat culture in another language, I'll accept your apology.
You're welcome, first of all.
That's an apology I'll accept.
But I just didn't get it, and now it just makes sense. First of all, like, he is still better than probably 99% of the world in basketball. 99 point something % of the world in basketball. He's in great shape. He's a wonderful basketball mind. He's a hard worker, and he'll bring it in practice. This is the kind of guy you want in your locker room.
He's a hard worker.
He's a hard worker.
All NBA players are hard workers,
No,
except for maybe Tracy McGrady.
Oliver Miller.
I
Right.
like that the Heat have decided to chase titles the last few years with one hand behind their back, essentially not using the full resources available to them. Other teams are like, we're going to use 15 roster spots to try to find the best players. The Heat say, no, let's use 14. We're going to pay this one guy to be a weird secret mole to the coaching staff who's going to investigate what the other players are doing and hold them up to a weird standard.
For the fact that we broke on this show that Udonis Haslem drugged Dion Waiters and got him high on that
He
airplane.
did do that.
We know
he
this.
Gave him,
He's the
he,
enforcer.
he gave him bad gummies
He
and
is-
got that
he
guy
is-
off the team.
He is the Michael Clayton of Pat Riley's Miami Heat.
He
So
is-
that alone is worth a roster
I'm
spot.
not a miracle worker. I'm a janitor.
He's the janitor.
Why isn't he just an assistant coach? What is
At
going
some point-
on?
Because he doesn't want to coach, and he could still give it to you in practice. Also, his per 36 numbers last year were incredible.
Okay,
If we want to pace adjust
it was
400
we have to
possessions, we can do that too.
12 ejections per 36. In the next CBA, at some point, someone who's a good leader of the CBA, who's looking
not
out
Chris
actually
Paul.
for the job creation of maybe the lower tier players, they're going to pass a Udonis Haslem rule that says like you can't sign a contract if you play one game every year. Like you have, like if you're over 35, you have to actually be playing. Like there's no more of this. Like, listen, that guy's played. How many games has he played in the last 3 years, Chuck? Should I look?
3.
Should I look that up?
I think he's played less than 5. Less than 5.
Wow.
I'm looking it up right now.
This is the life I want.
His last 2 seasons, he's played 5 games. His
Okay.
last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons, the last 5 seasons combined, he's played 45 games.
Hey, look, that's
If you are over 35 and you don't average more than 9 games played per year, your team cannot sign you to a 15-man roster contract. That salary spot should go to some kid who's never made the NBA. You need to pay, make Udonis Haslem an assistant coach.
I love legacy. The legacy matters. He still suits and boots. He still brings the funk at practice. I would want him on my team no matter what.
He has
even if he
played-
was
this
at
is
year
great.
19.
In 2015-16, he played 37 games.
Make
He's
him the team
homegrown.
chaplain. Make him the
He's-
team chaplain.
He's from the
So
305.
in the past 6 seasons combined, he's played exactly 1 NBA season, 82
But
games.
he
He's played
punked-
82 games.
But all of that, it's the intangibles. You dorks with your numbers and your stats. He punked Dwight Howard live in game last year.
Have you
and
ever-
that's what you got him for.
Keith, I know you don't have an answer to this question, but Chuck was in the military. Have you ever had someone under your employer, under your supervision that you were afraid of?
Yeah,
No.
I was that guy for a lot of people.
Like, it's like someone that you were like, okay, although I have seniority over this person, I technically outrank this person.
Yeah.
I cannot mess with this person.
Okay.
I think that's what is going on here.
Yeah.
Oh, you think Riley scared of Haslem?
That's the only thing that makes sense for me anymore.
Wouldn't
it's-
you be?
I would be.
When
be
you've
afraid of it.
you've literally buried bodies, Fat Riley.
You're breaking up. That was like the
Come on.
Roni Cycli remix of Bodies.
Yeah.
That was the digital alteration
I mean,
Bodies.
Pat Riley's starting to look like the Wish Dragon from Neverending Story. He's not really scary anymore. Like he is like Udonis Haslem is still like a
he's a-
grizzly bear. Like I think the fear factor is involved.
I think the Players Association has to step in. I think CJ McCollum's in charge now, and you can't give a guy a contract who's 40 years old who plays 1 game per year. We got to get some new blood in the NBA.
This is ageism. I don't stand for
It's
it. This
literally
is
ageism.
discriminatory. It's
no, the man's been in
discriminatory.
the man's had 19 contracts. Kick him out. It's time for somebody new. I'll do.
Who
my
do you think's
apology.
older, Udonis Haslem or the age Wilford Brimley was when he started Cocoon?
Oh, it's Brimley was in his 30s, right?
I
Well,
think
he's
so. I think he was
36.
39 or something.
If any of those memes are true, the internet has told me he was in his 30s. I'll do my apology. Last week on the big show, I said that all the first round picks at Summer League, everyone taken in the first round, basically did good. Only one of them was bad. That was Santi Aldama. And actually, technically, that was false. And I do feel bad for saying that untruth. I would say objectively, there were probably 2 other first round picks who were bad. Like some of them were maybe not good. Like Jaden Springer was not great, but I wouldn't go all the way to bad. But I think we can clearly say Jaden's college teammate, John, your boy Keon Johnson, he was stinky. He
wasn't good in college.
he he was terrible. I know he has the
I
largest,
was scared you. I was scared you
jump
about to
ever.
talk the Haitian sensation, and I was scared that he had a bad summer league.
Well,
and I was
I
gonna get very
will
sad.
say Keon Johnson, he struggled. His shooting splits were 29, 20, 57. He finished 5 for 25 on 3, and that's like because he finished on a hot streak.
Yeah,
Like
in his last 4.
that finished off pretty good. And then one more guy who was also bad picked in the first round, the Oklahoma City Thunder's Trey Mann. He only played 2 games, but he was atrocious. He was a brutal 7 for 29 on field goals, 0 for 6 on 3, and even that ratio of 3-pointers to 2-pointers is not what you want to see. So he also was pretty bad. I also think the Thunder maybe, I mean, I've been picking on the Thunder for a solid year. It feels like if they just played it safe with the draft, they'd be feeling pretty awesome right now. Like if they just went, I mean, we don't know about Giddey, but like even if they went with Kuminga and then just took Şengün and Jalen Johnson after Summer League, you're like, whoa, amazing draft.
They had 17 picks or whatever. Come on.
They had so many picks, and they finished with like, all right, Giddey, he twisted his ankle after 1 play. All right. And then it's like Trey Mann, well, that guy was terrible. And then you traded down to get, I don't know, some guy named maybe Jeremiah Earl. I'm not sure who that guy who they took is. Some big guy.
Is he a Delta bluesman?
Yeah, Civil War general.
He has a great Oklahoma name. I should probably look up exactly. I can apologize next week when I find out exactly what his name is.
He still wears his Confederate uniform,
like
around
Jeremiah
the
Joseph Earl or something. Anyway, John, what's your apology?
So my apology is fairly bittersweet and for once heartfelt. I'm going to apologize to Mark the Shark Gasol. The 3 of us were making the podcast rounds, and we were on a trivia podcast, NBA trivia podcast, and I missed a question. It wasn't an embarrassing miss. It was I was asked. It should have been a layup for a Grizzlies fan such as I was asked who had the most career minutes for the Memphis Grizzlies, and I answered Mike Conley. Turns out it was Mark Gasol. But what's so strange about it is that for most of this podcast, I would have said that Mark Gasol was my favorite NBA player, and thusly, like in my top 5 NBA players of all time. And it's just weird feeling that as soon as they're gone, or as soon as there's some distance gone between Mark and I, so much more than before. And now I just don't feel that. Like Ja Morant has replaced him instantly, and now I feel like I probably like Ja Morant as much as I ever liked Marc Gasol. And I was just curious if for you guys, does your favorite player on your favorite team, is that a fleeting thing for you guys, or does that kind of stuff stick with you for good? Like Keith, do you still is Tony Allen still like one of your favorite players ever, or does he is it fleeting? Chuck, is Harold Miner still that dude for you, or is it gone?
So unfortunately, my favorite player was Tim Hardaway for a long time.
Oopsie.
And then that had to end. Unfortunately,
can't have him in your locker room anymore.
He got canceled before getting canceled was cool.
He was like the proto cancel.
Yeah.
He was like, so, but yeah, that was heartbreaking. And then, I really love Chris Bosh. So like, that was terrible how that ended. So my 2 probably, and Wade and I always had a very strange relationship. I loved him, but then he left and was a sleeper agent working for the Cavs and the Bulls, and that never felt good. So, but then he came back, and then the last, farewell dance tour, whatever he called it,
interminable.
So it was the jersey swap-a-thon of 2019.
Endless.
Did he swap with Wade Baldwin, or am I remembering that incorrectly?
Let it be so.
The funniest swap was with Kevin Herter for some reason.
When the legend outgrows the truth, print the legend.
Print the legend.
I remember the Herter swap because Herter had an amazing game, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta get this."
Like, all right, I'll just give this kid one. I'm running out of need to find somebody. But yeah, he was collecting shirts like I was collecting Top Shot moments for a while. Like it was just like he was hoping it would work out if he got some nobody's jersey, and I don't think it ever did. But yeah, man, I have a long history of players who like leave, and even Lonzo Mourning went to Toronto, and that sucked. when he like.
Look, I understand the history of these players. What I'm asking you is, are they still amongst your favorites all time, or does the moving away? Like for me, I just realized, like, man, as soon as Marc Gasol was gone, like he's just not.
So
It's not there.
To answer your
anymore.
question, John, those guys are still my favorite players. Tony Allen is still like my all-time favorite player. Marc Gasol is still like one of my favorite players. You did a weird thing that I didn't understand at the time. When Marc Gasol got traded to the Raptors,
that's it.
I saddled up for the Raptors. I was like, this is amazing. And I experienced the joy of that entire
that's revenge. That's revenge porn to me. That's like watching
amazing.
It's like watching Mark on someone's OnlyFans account. I can't. Well, back in the day, OnlyFans account, but I can't do it. I can't do it. Like I still love it.
No, I'm still with Gasol now, and now I'm heartbroken. Or last year was like painful. Like why aren't they doing Gasol? And then you saw he was a little washed up a bit. Now this offseason they're talking about maybe they're not going to bring him back, and I'm just thinking, hey, let's get him bought out. Let's bring him home.
If he comes back, he'll be right back up top.
Because he's so you missed that trivia question about who played the most minutes for the Grizzlies, and it's very, very close. It's like 25,900 is Gasol, 25,700 is Conley, and the all-time Grizzlies leading scorers numbers are the same, or they're very, very close. And Conley's up like 20 points. So we got to get Marc Gasol, get him that buyout. He needs to come back to Memphis. He needs to score 21 points to take over the all-time leading scorer list for the Grizzlies.
And then I can apologize to Mark again for cheating on him, as it were.
And I want to apologize for saying Alonzo Mourning played in Toronto. I looked on Basketball Reference. It was TOT, which is combined teams.
Oh, gotcha. Total. Nice.
Well total.
That'll get you.
Toronto.
You thought it was Tottenham Hotspur?
Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, what team did he play on after that?
He played for the Nets for like a half.
Oh, just the Nets.
Well, after he got sick. It was a whole thing.
I've realized that you say any player's name, and if you tell me they go to any team, I basically believe it now. Like I can envision any player in any jersey.
It's the Mandela effect.
It is the Mandela effect.
Shout out Nelson.
You're like,
is Nelson Mandela going to end up being revert? Is Nelson Mandela going to be remembered for this stupid effect instead of like all the other things he did? Right. I think we're in danger of this.
Nelson Mandela's real?
Wait.
Oh no.
Wasn't he a character in the Bernstein Bears?
When a Nelson Mandela flaps his wings, it just reverberates through time.
Anyway, those were our breakfast in bed apologies. Before we move to our steak and eggs best things, I got to tell you guys about Grind City Media. You might not know, but Fastbreak Breakfast is a part of Grind City Media. Also, my other podcast, Grits and Grinds, talking all about the Grizzlies. And if you want the most up-to-date and exclusive coverage of things that are Memphis Grizzlies related, but also related about kind of the Southeast, Grind City Media covers Memphis Tigers football. They cover basketball. They cover the SEC, HBCU news, and it's all in one spot. So for more information and behind the scenes access on the Grizzlies and other sports in the Southeast, visit grindcitymedia.com or follow on Twitter at grindcitymedia today. There's a lot of like electrical. Do we know who has a bad connection right now?
You were just frozen for me for a while.
Okay. I wonder if it's your internet maybe that's kind of struggling, John. I can't tell if it's
It says that it's good, and I've been doing hard to do things all day on it, but I can take a look.
I think most of it is things I can chop out because I feel like I'm hearing it when I'm talking. So like if that's the case,
I don't hear anything.
I can just chop it out. Okay, let's keep going.
Let me make sure things aren't open or anything.
Let me
Should I start a new meeting? Start a new Zoom, or is that really stupid?
Let's start a new Zoom for fun.
Let me switch to my 5G Wi-Fi.
Wait, are you on? Is that better than what you're doing right now?
No, it's like that thing. I don't.
I think you're coming in kind of fine. Let's just.
Am I okay?
Well, so when you just said that, it was pretty. It was all funky. All right, let's just start a new meeting and
let me.
Everyone do what they think is best.
I'll text you guys the.
Man, we can see just enough of a reflection. It was like a 90s movie where we would like, or like Minority Report, where we'd like zoom in on one corner and we can see reflection. Like there's 3 guys in the room. Whose arm is that?
Doing scary shit, boys.
Are we good? We'll
Yep.
do best thing. Chuck, you go first.
I can go into it if you want.
Let's do best. Chuck, with your J.R. Smith stuff, right?
Okay.
Chuck, you there?
Chuck. I can't hear Chuck.
Can't hear Chuck.
Built-in microphone.
There you are.
Hold on.
Keep talking.
Make sure.
Yeah, you're wrong now.
Check. We good?
I think you're coming through.
Your audio's wrong now, or not coming through the right thing.
I think you're coming through the built-in mic.
Okay. So let's. Same as the built-in external microphone.
Don't want that.
Same as system. What up? Can you hear me now?
You want your
What's your mic?
Yeti or your Snowball or whatever.
What's that thing you were holding?
Like this thing right here should be going, but it's external microphone. What's up? Check. No?
It sounds much worse than it did that we did last time.
What the fuck? So, test speaker and microphone. Yes. It's saying external microphone.
Is this just? It might just be your internet. Did you switch to that 5G thing?
I've got it hardwired. While we were waiting for John, I hardwired it to my modem. I just did an internet speed test. We're cooking with fire.
Everyone looks better now.
I don't know what's happening.
Can you hold?
Okay, you just went away. Whatever you did there, you just went away. You're gone. Try going to your sound settings on your computer and seeing if it needs to change, and then also try.
Mic, same as system. No. Built-in microphone. No. Like it doesn't even recognize.
Switch it to your built-in microphone. Can we hear that?
Yeah.
Talk.
Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3,
I think that's
4.
what we're already hearing.
That's better though. Weirdly,
is it? I don't know.
It's not good. It's not as good as it was.
I think it's the same
on the previous one.
Why don't you close Zoom and come back, Chuck? You still have
okay.
That might do it. Close it all the way though. Well, sorry, my shit fucked it up, and now we're in the hell.
Yeah, I mean, I was the one who wanted to close the meeting. Was hoping for better, got worse.
Yeah. Hello, Chuckles. Come on, Daddy.
It's not picking up this microphone. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, the power is not even on it now.
No, power's on.
Oh, okay, I'm an idiot.
I see that little HAL red light.
I mean,
so you've gone through your settings in your sound, like the little. Are you on a PC or a Mac?
I'm on a Mac. I've set this up dozens of times, and it's not.
You're in preferences, and it's not showing up.
Yeah, settings. I went to settings. I went to audio. I went to test mic. Check.
And the snowball's just not showing up.
It's not even picking up the snowball.
Was it just connected with the USB? Is your option does it have an on off?
I mean, there's no on off. It just
it just plugs in, right? So just unplug it.
I
assume you've done that several times, unplugged and tried to plug it back in.
Multiple times. Okay.
Time.
Check.
Okay. Well, you did it.
Yep.
So fucking weird.
I had to do the same shit. I had to turn off. I had to unplug the camera again.
You guys both have ghosts in your computers.
Just a Zoom thing. This is not my computer.
All right. Well,
This is the tech
ghost in your heart.
Yeah.
All right, we good?
He's mad that I fucked it up somehow.
All right, we good? We're best thing.
Yeah.
Chuck, you excited to talk about some blueberry biscuits or something?
Hold on. Let me bring up the exact tweet so that I can say it with authority.
Thank you.
J.R. Smith.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. So my
Okay,
best thing.
I'll cue you. I'm sorry. That's my bad. I'm going to get us back in the show. 1 second. Wanted to hear the last. All right, here we go. And all right, steak and eggs, best thing. What is the best thing you saw? Chuck, what's your best thing?
So I want to give a shout out to Roundball Rocks Sean Keen last week. He filled in for me, and he picked what would have been my best thing, which is J.R. Smith headed back to college to play golf. Incredible. But while in the South, because I think he's going to, where's he going?
North Carolina A&M, something like
Yeah,
that?
he's an A&T. He's an Aggie. And his this movie that in my head, he's just like living a movie like Billy Madison almost. But he's in the South and he's discovered Bojangles, one of our favorites. John's currently attending 12-step meetings to stop eating Bojangles biscuits.
Well, and now they have the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits at Bojangles, so I'm just completely destroyed.
So I want to give you a tweet J.R. Smith has shot off, which warmed the cockles of my heart. Dear Bojangles, I don't know who came up with these Bowberry biscuits, but may whatever God you pray to bless your heart and soul. Man, oh man. Oh, this is our brand. Is exactly a ridiculous player.
Did he type out? Oh,
like, man, oh man, no, that was me.
You just threw in a little Homer Simpson there. I like
that. Was a whole biscuit. So I just love this idea that he's just finally ended up in a small southern town with the only restaurant worth going to is Bojangles, because that is the truth in a lot of the South.
He was talking about, he was like, why didn't anyone tell me about Bojangles? That's what he's been going with today. I'd say
it is the best.
It's great. Bojangles is amazing. So
yeah.
What I'm going to say now, I don't want to take away from the fact that Bojangles is amazing.
Yeah. No, I know what you're going to say.
I am too cynical about this. Oh, this seems like a ploy. This seems like a very overt, obvious scheme. When Sean was on the show last week, or maybe John, you made the joke. I can't remember who made the joke, talking about like J.R. Smith was waiting to enroll in college for this NIL money, where like the athletes can now make money. And so I am too jaded. To me, this is programmed. This was on purpose. He rolls in to NCA&T and is like, who can I get to sponsor me? Oh, Bojangles. And now also, he's firing off all these tweets about Bojangles. He's going to get a check for this.
To your point, the Bowberry biscuit is a newer menu item replacing a much beloved superior menu item.
Oh,
all the
deeper.
Pieces fit. Yeah.
This is all the way to a turkey bacon conspiracy.
Yeah, because this is like the Bowberry biscuits. They make them look like little footballs. It's practically a seasonal item.
So this could be even worse. This is not that J.R. Smith is attempting to get an endorsement. This is Bojangles is already paying him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the most liked reply to this J.R. Smith tweet is from Bojangles, specifically talking about an NIL deal. So that it's all out there. There's no conspiracy.
There's nothing pure anymore.
This has all been orchestrated.
No, he did it on purpose for the checks.
Yeah.
Isn't an education enough?
Yeah.
Right?
What happened to playing for the love of the game?
This amateurism
for your
teammates.
It doesn't even exist. When I was drawing charges in church league, it was for the camaraderie.
Right?
No, I don't ever want to be a
I hope he gets.
I don't want to be a right-wing sports jock.
You'll end up dead and in the ground, homeboy.
Seems no fun.
Not only do I hope J.R. Smith gets an endorsement, I hope it's like all he does is like wear Bojangles gear like a NASCAR driver. He's just wearing on the golf course, just like dripped out, jangling,
blaring the birds.
Yes. That would make my day.
Now, is it right Chuck, is it right for someone who's made so many $1 million in his professional career, much like Udonis Haslem is taking a job away from someone else, is J.R. Smith going to be taking away that Bojangles NIL money from another, deserving amateur athlete?
Look, man, this is how it be sometimes.
It's how it be sometimes.
You can't hate on this man's entrepreneurial spirit.
Chuck and cronyism go hand in hand.
Also, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here. If we think there is an NBA player who was not smart with his millions of dollars,
I'm not upset that J.R. Smith has this scheme and he's getting paid. I'm just saying I want to be clear, my reaction to his reaction to these Bowberry biscuits, this was not Giannis tasting a smoothie for the first time.
No,
this was not actual genuine emotion. This was a something he planned out to get a check. That's all I'm saying.
Well, look, he's going back to college for a reason, I think. And it's probably because he's
golf, right?
Bought too much Henny, and maybe he needs to get a degree to fall back on. He's got to worry about his fiscal future and catching this check, getting that Bojangle bag.
I think he heard about OnlyFans going down and was just like, how else?
I would assume J.R. Smith is an incredible money man. I assume he's an unbelievable investor.
You think he's all about his P&Ls?
I think he has turned over an unbelievable rate of return on the money that he's made in his life. That's the vibe he gives off. But anyway,
he was
John,
riding Dogecoin to the moon.
I think he got in crypto early. First wave of investors with Top Shot.
For sure.
John, what's your best thing?
Continuing my trend of like bizarrely unsettling segments, I'm going to go with the Celtics re-signing Marcus Smart. For me,
that's your best thing. I'm sorry.
Not only do I think it's like a savvy move, because I think Marcus Smart means so much more to the Celtics than he does to any other team. I also like knowing where my enemies are. And I like knowing exactly, I was getting stressed about Marcus Smart somehow ending up on some team that I enjoy. So staying in the Boston area, a sports fandom that I reiterate my hatred for regularly. And it also keeps me, because I like most everything else about that team. Dennis Schroeder be damned. So I'm just glad that he's there. And, I can still make fun of, like watching, players like Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier thrive in Charlotte. I could still get my yucks in, but I know, it's better, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Like, this is perfect for me.
Now, for anyone who
Marcus is, I have relief. If
For
he had gone to the Nuggets or something, that would bother me.
For anyone who doesn't know, I feel like we should tell people you despise Marcus Smart. Started in college.
Now that Grayson Allen is back on a team that's not mine, Marcus Smart has moved to second least favorite player in the NBA. But yes, I despise Marcus Smart.
Yeah, you've had a long running thing about Marcus Smart.
I should have prefaced that. I needed a few prefatory remarks there. Before we get to yours, actually, Terry Rozier came up and it reminded me of a little song that we sing.
Oh! Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, a Skype phasing game of scones?
Terry Rozier last year, boys, was one of just 24 players to average at least 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game over the past 2 seasons. This is a minimum of 100 games played. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to foul out of the game, and we'll do it amateurism style. 5 fouls and you're out of the game. Name those other 23 players
who averaged at least 19 points, at least 4 rebounds, at least 4 assists
over the last 2 seasons.
All right.
Ooh.
Keith has been dominating us in trivia lately. Would you like to go first or second, Keith? So you get the preference.
I'll go first.
Okay.
First, LeBron James.
That is correct. Chuck, your turn.
Russell Westbrook.
Ooh, Russell Westbrook. Curiously, if you were to put all of these guys, rank them by win shares, which I did, Russell Westbrook, where do you think he ended up on the list there, Chuck?
Dead last.
You got it. You know what? I'm not going to do it, but I thought about giving him an extra point there. All right, back to you, Keith. I don't know if you guys are going to foul out. Good start so far.
James Harden.
Of course. Your turn, Chuck.
Nikola Jokic.
Number 1 in win shares, baby.
Oh, wow. I hadn't even jotted down Jokic yet on my little scratch piece of paper here. Good job, Chuck. I'll do Steph Curry.
Ooh. Don't think he gets the board.
Does he not get the rebounds? Does he get 4 rebounds a game?
That's your first foul there,
Keith.
It's going to be hard to get to 5. We may have to cap it at 3. We'll see how you guys are going. Chuck, right. You're up, baby.
I want to go. I'm feeling itchy. Went Jokic. Let's go Doncic.
Luka Doncic is correct. Go ahead, Keith.
Am I failing on the passes? Let's stick it with big men. This might be risky. Did Julius Randle get 4 assists per game the last 2 seasons? Julius Randle.
Nice. Got it, Keith. Chuck, you're up.
Itchy. Feeling itchy. Vucevic.
I think you should. I think you've hit a part. You have a healing salve because that is incorrect. You're no longer itchy. You're up.
What do you? He's not. He doesn't get 5 assists, or is it 19 points?
He does 4 assists.
He does not pass.
He does not get the 4 assists.
He dunks and shoots threes. He will never pass.
I thought he was a good passer.
Racial profile.
How about Kyrie Irving? He get those rebounds?
Oh, Keith, you got to get away from this. That's a second foul for Keith.
I'm to the small guards killing me.
2 fouls to 1 foul for Chuck.
What about Dame Lillard?
Correct. There's a little guard you could have used.
Those guys get it, and Kyrie and Steph can't grab 4 measly rebounds. God. Damian Lillard
just barely 4.1.
This is not my worst thing, but Damian Lillard retweeted someone who did the worst form of tweet on Twitter. Damian Lillard retweeted someone saying, quote, Dame can't shoot, as if someone has ever said Damian Lillard can't shoot, with the video of Damian Lillard shooting, and Dame retweeted it. That guy has Kevin Durant will say horrible things in the DMs. Damian Lillard's online presence is the most horrible thing for me in existence. Going back to his Instagram letter, begging to make the All-Star team. Anyway, I've gotten lost. It's my turn now.
Tried to stall, but it's your turn.
19-4-4. Don't let me down, Devin Booker.
He never lets you down, Keith. He never lets you down. That's correct. Chuck.
What about Donovan Mitchell? He's got to get
correct.
Yeah.
Well done.
What about my guy Chris Middleton?
Correct. Chuck. The anglerfish has been taken. The anglerfish is off the board.
Giannis?
Who?
Oh. Yes.
Yeah. What about Domantas Sabonis?
Ooh, correct.
Okay.
Back to you, Chuck.
DeMar DeRozan?
Correct.
The point.
Well done.
Oh, definitely. Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. Easily.
This guy kind of sucks, but I'm going to say Jimmy Butler.
Yes. Very high on that win share.
That was just a joke for Chuck.
Yeah,
I know.
For Chuck.
He did. Chuck no-sells him now. We're in trouble as a podcast.
I wanted to make sure any listener out there understood it was a joke. I respect Jimmy Butler. I fear Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
What about Zach LaVine?
I think that's correct. Let me dig deep here. That is correct. Back to you, Keith. I think you guys are going to get this.
I have a question. Do rookies from last year count?
No.
Because they didn't play the last 2 years. Do they count?
No, I don't think so because I don't see any.
Okay. I was going to go with one of them ball boys.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So I guess I'll go Bradley Beal.
Correct. Back to you, Chuck.
What about Brandon Ingram?
That's correct. You guys are going to get all of these. This is what happens when I don't play.
I gave up my train of thought. Let's see. We need another player. 19-4-4.
About to give you a foul.
Might take
RJ Keith. That is Keith's third foul.
Okay.
Back to you, Chuck.
Okay.
What about, man, this is risky. You're gonna laugh, but I'm gonna say Trae Young.
It's an easy win. Yep. No,
he got him. Yeah. I thought if Steph didn't get 4 rebounds, that's nuts.
I still can't believe
he has the least, second least rebounds of anyone on here.
Nice.
Back to you, Keith.
I should probably I should have been thinking of scorers during all that time. What about RJ Barrett?
Hack you again.
What about RJ Barrett? RJ Barrett.
No, that's horribly incorrect.
What about
Four fouls for Keith.
Let's go to Clipperland and Kawhi Leonard.
It's correct. Back to you, Keith.
Gets paid.
Oh, I'll foul out with his teammate Paul George if Paul George doesn't get enough.
No, that is correct.
Okay,
that's correct. There are only 1, 2, 3 answers remaining. You guys can get this.
I
will foul you, Chuck.
What about Karl Anthony Towns?
God, no. Back to you, Keith.
How about but I'm gonna go out swinging on a small guy, De'Aaron Fox.
No, but I like where your head's at. The last 3 are pretty small, although one of these guards.
Oh,
Keith is fouled out.
I'm done.
Can't believe Keith didn't say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I can't believe Keith didn't say Jamal Murray.
I don't recognize the Thunder. So I thought Jamal Murray, and I actually assumed he didn't get the rebounds. I'm surprised
he has the lowest rebounds with just
4.
4.
Jamal Murray, I definitely crossed him off in my head and said 5 other incorrect answers.
And then last but certainly least, CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well done though, guys. That was an excellent performance.
It was thanks for throwing that in there. Always love a game of scones coming out.
Well, I just found out about this thing that you can do where you can actually put in all kinds of. It's the stat head thing. I'm pretty sure I know how you do all this stuff now, Keith.
So I didn't even use stat. I actually was talking about Stathead because Stathead's Twitter presence has become like just all clickbait now. But yeah, they do have a good functioning website.
You can create all these criteria for such games. So maybe I'll let my game.
I look forward to your future contributions. My best thing. Here's my best thing. Speaking of Twitter presences, there are these aggregation accounts. Everyone knows there's these big Twitter aggregation accounts that just like they steal a lot of stuff, but also if someone says something on a podcast, they'll put out a news report. But there was a tremendous little story that got carried over the last 2 days that I found great delight in as a Grizzlies fan. On Sunday, one of these sites ran, the Grizzlies are open to trading Kyle Anderson and Dylan Brooks, according to Chris Fedor. Or Fedor? I don't know how to say this guy's name. According to Chris Fedor.
Russian bot.
Chris Fedor is a Cavs writer. He covers the Cavaliers. Now, today, there was a report by the same aggregation service that said the Cavaliers are upset that other teams are trying to rip them off in trades. So I got to say, good job, King Kleiman. Keep doing your thing. Mess them up. Don't slow down. We're not trading Dylan Brooks. Are you nuts? Not trading Kyle Anderson. Get out of here. So thank you, aggregation service, for putting those two things in front of me, which I never would have seen otherwise. Perhaps you do have some value that I never saw before. Anyway, let's go to the opposite of our steak and eggs, the cream of wheat. Worst thing. What's the worst thing you saw in the last week? John, what's your worst thing?
For me, it's like one of the truly beloved and not near, like a lot of members of the NBA media old guard kind of become, Bill Plaschkeites and become more trouble than they're worth, or become the equivalent of like a talk radio type blustering jackass. But I feel like Jackie McMullen was one of the true good ones. And I feel I will miss reading her, and I'm glad that she has her new thing. But I, wrote one of the best basketball books ever, which I've given to Keith as a present before, Drive, the Larry Bird story. I mean, it's just a person that I like, kind of a trailblazer, and someone that, now that Pat Summitt is dead, that hairstyle's gone forever.
Shout out Jackie Mack. I always liked her energy. Like,
oh yeah.
She was just like, she had to have put up with so much nonsense coming up in the era she did, in the world she did. And she would just never seemed flappable, and like, or she seemed unflappable. I don't know if you can't.
You did it right. I think you got it from both angles there.
It was just, I've always just appreciated her just like calm, like energy, man. She was always, I always loved her.
I respect so much that she possessed a haircut that told me she was good at basketball. I feel like more sports writers should do that. Like, if you're like, how much more would you have respected Bob Ryan if he just had cornrows? Answer me truthfully.
If you can pull him off, that's the key.
And just think about Woody Page if he just bicked his head like Jordan. I'd be like, okay, I get it. Absolutely.
Run it back.
Jackie let me know that she could probably cross me up just by virtue of her appearance.
She was a great basketball player, apparently. Yeah.
Oh, really? See, I don't even know. I do know, but only because of her perfect, Craig Elo haircut.
I bet you her jumper is still wet. I bet she gets you all day from 7.
I'm muting myself.
Chuck, what's your worst thing?
My worst thing, man, tampering.
How's it got you down, man?
Man, and I don't know. Are the Heat going to lose one of their second round draft picks from 2027 because of tampering? It's all in the air. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, are you feeling bad about Mickey Erson's money? It's been a tough couple years for cruise ships, man.
Cruise ships are always. My big problem is, like, the NBA makes this whole big thing about, like, are there like news breaking insiders for hockey?
Yes.
Okay. Is there the same thing? I guess so. Like, every sport has their insiders that the leagues just feed their information to, so that they can be the top of Twitter, right? Like, that's the whole point of Adrian Wojnarowski.
The league doesn't. The agents do.
So it's the agents are creating these buzzy dudes, but the agents are the league. The agents are making decisions. It doesn't make sense. Who's crying about all this stuff? Who's calling
the teams that don't get the players, Chuck?
The teams that aren't the Heat.
The teams that don't have the connections.
Yeah. But it just doesn't make sense to me that we have the whole point of NBA free agency is the first 45 minutes.
Adam Silver, all he says is, guys, don't rub my face in it.
Yeah.
Just don't rub it in my face.
But I don't get, like,
hey, I'm going to speak to you in Sopranos terms, Chuck. All right, you got your guma, but don't rub it in my face, man.
But look, here's the thing. Like, what kind of world exists where two teams who almost traded a player at the trade deadline last year couldn't have a deal figured out pretty quickly once the trade deadline,
which is exactly why tampering is going to be hard to prove in the Raptors Heat case.
And look, everybody's got a burner phone. They're selling them at Quick Stop. Like, they're doing, like, Riley.
You're just mad that Udonis Haslem didn't do his job.
Udonis Haslem's the one who's driving to different convenience stores from a large distance from the Miami Heat.
Bagman failed you.
He's got $10 million in cash in briefcases that he's supposed to be delivering places, and his only job,
cigarette boats.
His only job was to tell Shams Charania, "Hey, brother, don't tweet this 2 seconds after the moratorium lifts.
Just wait 45 minutes.
Unfortunately, Udonis is a fiend for mojitos and couldn't keep his yap shut, and now you're in this mess of your own creation.
It's not my fault, and I just don't understand what tampering is, why it matters, and why sometimes it's enforced and sometimes it's not.
or Chuck, let's bring it back to that fleeting but very intense period of time between your divorce and your current relationship. Remember when you used to text the wrong girl a lot?
Yeah, I've done that before.
Just don't do that. All you have to do is keep your text messages straight.
Don't rub it in my face.
No.
Yeah.
And you know, Adam Silver does kind of look like Uncle June.
There are
give him some glasses and a tracksuit.
There are reasons why the NBA doesn't want, I think, these teams working out these trades beforehand, because sometimes, you know, teams aren't involved. Like, you have friendships, obviously, between GMs and people who worked for each other. And so you can use these back channels. And so having these rules at least somewhat makes sense to try to level the playing field. We're like, okay, you can overtly call and recruit these people at this time, but there's no way to stop it. Like, there's no way to stop it. Should they at some point, like, get rid of this moratorium day? There's specific reasons. They're balancing their books to get like all the exact salary cap figures to make it happen. So, you know, I understand what you're saying, Chuck, but I think all Adam Silver is basically saying, don't brazenly break the rules.
It's not like the Heat use their draft picks anyways. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I assume in this situation, they're not going to cancel these deals. The teams involved don't have a lot of draft picks to take away from.
Yeah.
And so, like, are they going to find, they're going to find Mickey Arison a lot of money.
Cool.
I assume they're going to find Mickey Arison. And Mickey Arison is not happy about that. And that is why perhaps he's signing Udonis Haslem, because with a player with that many years of service, the league subsidizes part of his salary.
It's true. He's
Socialism.
got a basic minimum income.
That's right. My worst thing. What's my worst thing? Oh, it's been 1 week. It's been 1 week since the Grizzlies traded away Patrick Beverley. He's still here.
What?
Why is he still here?
Is Eric Bledsoe even gone? I don't even understand how any of this
So actually, it's possible that Eric Bledsoe's still here. The Grizzlies announced that Eric Bledsoe was traded away, but Chris Harrington was saying that he spoke to a source and like that actual deal has not processed. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I didn't know who's on the Grizzlies. Why are we waiting a week?
Is Grayson Allen still here?
Oh, that one went through. Sam Merrill played in our summer league, baby. That one went through.
Keith was in front of Grayson Allen's apartment looking for the moving van to make sure it happened.
Do you guys ever get like real scared after you've been like so passionate about a decision? Like, what if I made the wrong decision?
What if
every day of my life?
Is Grayson Allen going to be good now?
What if, when he's like playing,
just had a child
with Udonis.
yeah. When Grayson Allen's on the court with Udonis, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday and Brooke Lopez, is he going to shoot like 58% from three?
I moved Grayson Allen. I moved the Bucks 2 spots down on my power rankings after Grayson Allen trade.
He's just like, I thought he was shorter Bryn Forbes, but it turns out he's the same height as Bryn Forbes. Did you know he's the same height as Bryn Forbes?
He looks tall.
Like, they're both 6'4". I feel like Bryn Forbes feels tall, but Grayson
Ted
Allen,
Cruz, Alec Baldwin shadow nose.
I think Grayson Allen's face makes him look shorter.
Oh. Yeah, I see all that.
I think Bryn Forbes has a taller head.
In his face, and I'm like, he looks like a Dick Tracy character. Like,
yeah,
it seems elongated.
There's some regret. There's like, like when Javon Carter started having like 3 good games for the Suns, I was like, wait, was I wrong? Like, is Javon Carter going to be good?
You're going to be just fine, Keith.
Turns out Javon Carter, he's not around.
What? Is he not in the league anymore?
Look, if somehow miraculously Grayson Allen gets more run on the defending champions, which cannot happen.
Well, he's not going to start, but I mean,
than he did on our bizarre Grizzlies starting lineups. Then, that's the only way you'd ever find out something like that. Otherwise, if he's just, flashing in a 3 here or there, that still doesn't refute your hatred.
He's going to be solid. No, he's going to be solid for the Bucks. He's going to be solid. He's not going to start for him. He's going to be solid. Let's move. Oh no, before the awards segment, I almost jumped all the way to the awards segment. Before the awards segment, we have a couple of listener submitted questions. That's right. The croissant question.
Make Minnesota Great Drew again asks, How do all Grizzlies fans acquire the innate subliminal connection to the front office such that they're able to instinctively determine whether each and every player by the Grizzlies, I assume you meant taken by the Grizzlies or acquired by the Grizzlies, is a fit for the organization, or whether or not the player is, quote unquote, in the plans? Look, Drew, we just don't ever apologize for being G&G around here.
No, don't ever apologize for being G&G. I appreciate Drew because he asks some of the best questions. I feel like we might owe him money for his contributions to the show. We'll give him an EP credit. I don't know what he means, though, in this instance.
I think he's mostly referring to like, oh, Patrick Beverley, perfect fit, grit and grind.
No one said that. People said that. People said, okay, that's true.
Yeah. I think that's to what they're, I don't know, but that's my
I think there's some of this when you acquire like a Jarrett Culver, which theoretically the Grizzlies have acquired, even though he's not been acquired. I think you're like, oh, that makes sense. Right. That fits what the Grizzlies are trying to do.
You also could kind of just suss together the type of player that they're trying to acquire by their recent moves. I wouldn't say that fits with this larger description Drew has, but to me, like, it's obvious we're trying to get like a lengthier wing who can handle the ball, and we're kind of trying to buy low on somebody like that.
I think the buy low thing is right. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced the Grizzlies are interested in the Jarrett Culver business. I don't think they care this Jarrett Culver. I think they were just like, Patrick Beverley, that's not what we want here. We want people who can all, I mean, part of it, I feel like, do they want all young people who can be brainwashed? Like, they don't want anyone who's not a part of the cult to show up. You know, like, they need people who are all like, listen, we have this thing and everyone is under 25 except for Kyle Anderson. And it's like Patrick Beverley, he has a lot of NBA experience.
He's 33.
He's a lot of NBA experience, been a lot of places. He has a certain level of like expectation of like who I am as an NBA player, what I do on the court. And they're like, we don't want to rock the boat. We have a very disciplined group here.
No matter how badly you feel about Jarrett Culver's free throw percentage, he's 10 years younger than Patrick Beverley.
So Jarrett Culver is a guy. And again, I started wondering, like, you know, this is a deep cut. Now everyone's like, you know, the certain kind of guy the Grizzlies get. I started wondering, are they collecting religious players?
Oh, wow.
Is that too far?
You know, Jarrett Culver will only eat eggs cooked by his mother.
I didn't know that, but
Maybe
I know like he's from a very religious family. I think it may be like, and then you have Zaire Williams from this military family talking about, I'm like, are they trying to get in some like just all like this like hardcore evangelical kids? Like, is that like the new goal?
I think the question might also speak to the fact that the Grizzlies don't acquire the same type of player that we used to, and people still are like, "Oh yeah, grit and grind." That's grit and grind's over.
Grit and grind was dead. People forget.
Yeah.
Like the years, like 2017, 18, 19.
Yeah.
A lot of it was luck, guys. Like we signed Ben McLemore. We signed Tyreek Evans. Like it was just like, what are we doing? It was some weird stuff went down. Now you have the newish regime. There's some leftovers, but you know, I think a lot of it is people assign narratives to things. Like when the Spurs, like it used to be whenever the Spurs drafted someone in the 20s, or they were like, oh, of course the Spurs got that guy. Yes. Or like, you know, of course the Warriors got Jordan Bell. They know what they're doing. Jordan Bell's nothing. Right. Like, you know, it didn't work out. So I think a lot of this is just people are
teams and fan bases are ascribed qualities, and ours will, I guess, forever until, you know, Draw dunks it out of people and we run and gun our way out of it. We're going to be the tough guy team.
Until Jarrett Culver's waived in 2 days, people will say this. Yeah. What's the next question?
Kevin Gillen asks,
yeah,
which NBA player would go the Billy Hoyle route and decide to play basketball instead of having a life filled with Rosie Perez sex? Let me boomerize this for you, normies out there. He is referring to the seminal film White Men Can't Jump, in which Woody Harrelson's character eschews a life fraught with relations with Rosie Perez to play pickup basketball.
Say fraught?
I'm afraid I did.
Fraughtage.
Fine. Doesn't matter.
But I think I really want to answer AC Green here, but he's long gone.
I think the answer is every Memphis Grizzlies except Dylan Brooks. And
yeah,
John
I was about to
Morant.
say I think Keith just answered
every
this.
Every Grizzly except Dylan Brooks and John Morant.
Do you have an answer, Chuck? You've been a little quiet. It's been a little grizzly in here.
Man, I don't know. We're gonna go back to the well. Udonis Haslem. Let's get it, baby.
No, listen.
No.
Look, that's enough Haslems for you.
I don't. Yeah, we've met our quota for the season.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Somebody who really, really loves the game of basketball and looks like they don't have sex. That's the question,
we've talked about Grayson Allen very recently on this. I think there's a lot of who takes the most charges. It's Kyle Lowry.
I think Slow-Mo looks very. If I had to pick an asexual,
he's AC Greenish in appearance.
An asexual, like, just doesn't seem like. Kawhi might not. I know he has had sex. I know he has a child at least. But I'm not sure if he enjoyed it. He might only enjoy getting rebounds. I think a guy like man, I usually see the problem is most of my time is spent looking at NBA players going, how much does that guy fuck?
Yeah.
You know, and this is a harder exercise. I don't know,
well,
man.
Who is the answer to the question of when you ask yourself that question, who is it that you never find yourself turning to?
Man, I wish Otis Thorpe was still in the league.
I'm closing the book on this question with Alex Lynn.
Oh, that's a good one. Ersan Ilyasova.
Technically in the league.
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome back, Potter asks, who lies more, John or Chuck? Chuck, let's keep the ball rolling.
Oh, this is a great question.
I don't lie nearly as much as John Burr in life. I just lie for the show because it's funny sometimes. But John has got whole I can't imagine how many plates he's got.
Trying to think how many lies I've told today. I think today has been a little light.
I used to lie a lot because I had severe and significant drug and alcohol abuse problems. So that was always something I had to hide from people. I wasn't good at it.
I typically if this question had been asked to me regarding almost any other person, I feel like I just slam dunk this home. Like, I got this.
Doesn't it?
But Chuck gives me
Shouldn't
pause.
One of you guys let me weigh in on this? I feel like this is the.
Well, I actually have a dark horse candidate. If we throw in lies to ourselves, I think Keith is right.
Keith might have us.
Keith is right there with us. But yeah, I do think it's only fair that Keith gets to do that.
I would say, from my perspective, and for those who don't know, I don't know John and Chuck that well outside of this show, outside of this program. This is by far the majority of the time we spend together is talking about basketball in the confines of recording episodes of Fastbreak Breakfast.
That hurts Chuck a lot as far as if lying less is good. That hurts Chuck a lot.
I would say I like to think of it's almost like a riddle where all right, so if you're a podcaster and one of your podcast co-hosts lies 100% of the time, and the other podcast co-host lies 50% of the time, and you guys agree to podcast at 8 p.m. What time are you podcasting that day? That's great. That was my life for a long time.
Yeah.
Where I was like, all right, I've now
kind
figured out.
It's kind of a Solomon's choice here. Maybe if I can put this into terms, you understand better. What about our lie shares?
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I mean, I would say
lies above replacement.
I mean, from my
liar.
From my perspective, Chuck lies a good bit, like a lot. But I feel like Chuck's lies are really identifiable. Where I'm like, that's a lot. It's easily circled. I think John.
It's a web.
It's just a web, and he's just breathing these casual little lies all over the place. And then you're like, what if this is true? What if this is made up? So I do think I would vote. My guess is John lies, but I don't have actual knowledge or proof
So
you
I
do
just-
have
a
proof.
falsehood.
I mean, I have confirmed of my daily lies in my daily life on a weekly basis.
I want to
Chuck only admits lies when caught.
I have a question,
No.
Chuck.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I
Chuck.
wasn't.
No, you've
caught.
lied about your diet for like.
I have a big
It's
question.
not
here.
lying. I've been honest. I've been
Chuck,
open. I've
I have a
bared
big
my
question.
soul. When I fail at my veganism, I let you know that I'm failing. This is truth. This is intimacy, John. Something you wouldn't know about.
Chuck, listen.
I think I bared your soul.
Chuck, I need to know this. Have you had a vasectomy?
Yes.
You had the vasectomy.
Yeah.
It happened.
It happened.
While we
Yeah.
were in Vegas, you actually you got the snip. You got it done?
I got my snip. I mean,
Okay.
I could show you the scars if you really need to see it.
I don't even
But
know.
yeah,
Check out
I don't even know what I'm looking
OnlyFans.com
for.
Harold Miner fan 23.
That's probably where I got my little cold because I had to
Well,
go to
I
a
was curious
hospital.
because you couldn't go to Vegas for the vasectomy, and then I
Yeah.
never heard another peep about a vasectomy. I felt like if someone I know had a vasectomy, I'd at least hear about it. Like I had the surgery, I'm hanging out, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
Well, if you were in our Patreon only Slack channel, hashtag the snip or the big snip, you would have
I
found
didn't know
out
that
the day
existed.
I had it. Yeah, we have a vasectomy channel.
I'm
in
joining
our
that.
Yeah, you
channel.
should.
Very
That
soon.
channel, just via the presence of one Sam Wilkinson, is probably a horror show channel.
It's great. It's great. And look, and I'm going to tie all this in together or untie it in the name of vasectomies. I will admit when I am lying. A lot of my lies are because we podcast at ungodly hours. And I'm forced into these positions because I am a man who works and gets up early, and I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna make up a lie sometimes. And
I will
that's
say
built into
this,
to the juice.
Keith, if I ever say I'm getting a vasectomy, I am lying.
Right.
I am lying.
Well, those were our listener submitted questions, the croissant questionnaire. If you want to have your own questions answered on air or as part of our Zoom hangout, the Millennial Brunch $500 croissant, we are doing the Zoom hangout for our Patreon supporters on Sunday at 3 p.m. Central. This Sunday, I have no idea what date that is, August 29th. A computer tells me we will be doing our monthly Zoom hangout. That is for all of our Patreon supporters. If you also join our Patreon, you can play. We're doing a fantasy football league. We don't normally do fantasy football, but I'm going to do one of those. If you want to play fantasy football with me, you got to sign up at the $5 tier. Also, some other bonus content for those who join up at patreon.com/Fastbreak Breakfast. So help us out. Go to patreon.com/Fastbreak Breakfast. All right, gentlemen, the awards segment of the program. There is no International Stack.
How can this be? Yeah, you should have made one up to enter the Great.
This
Liar
is
fray.
just, we're not going to vote on it, but I am going to honor, because I don't feel like I gave them enough attention yet, the absolute dregs of Summer League. Just we're going to run through some names. Some of them, it sounds like made up names and they're kind of fun to say, but these are the worst shooters at Summer League. This is the entire Summer League. All right. Our worst field goal percentage guys. We're going to start at the under 20% from the field in Summer League. We got Zeke Naji.
Private detective from Pelican Brief.
You should know him. He played for the Nuggets. Maybe not going to turn out that well. The Lakers signed a guy named Mac McClung, who looks like just a normal little frat boy,
If you
intramural
Tom Cruise in
basketball
the
player.
front.
He was 6 for 31 from the field in Summer League, 19.4%. Then there was our boy, the 30th pick of the first round draft, Santi Aldama, 8 for 43 from the field in Summer League. That is under 19%. And then, get this name, John Axel Goodmanson. John Axel Goodmanson.
His girlfriend cut off her toe.
4 for 25. He was also 1 for 13 on 3-pointers. And then the worst field goal percentage in all of Summer League for those players who attempted at least 20 field goals. Tyrone Wallace, playing for the Pacers now, was 3 for 20. I would also like to honor, in this award segment, the worst 3-point shooters. A very, very special Toronto's own Delano Blanton, who was playing for his hometown Raptors, did not make a 3-pointer despite attempting 12 of them. He was 0 for 12. Also notably terrible at shooting 3-pointers. You have Justin Anderson, Who? This is the guy we've seen in the NBA.
Yeah.
Surely he could catch on somewhere. He was playing Summer League on the Rockets. 1 for 16 from downtown. Our boy
Maybe not.
Our boy Santi Adama, 2 for 20 from 3. CJ Ellaby from the Blazers was 3 for 21. Jordan Nwora, who was honored last week as an honorable Stackhouse member for averaging a 7 for 21 from the field for all of Summer League, just putting up massive shots. He was 7 for 40 on threes. And finally, Brandon Knight. It was painful. It was ugly. Brandon Knight trying to keep that career going, not looking so good for him in Summer League.
Unless he takes his shirt off. Washboard abs.
Washboard abs. Him and ISO Joe. Look on the Instagram if you want to see the beautiful abs. Brandon Knight was 5 for 28 from 3. Unfortunately, that is under 18%, so not very good. So we're not naming an award winner, but I thought we could use the awards segment to do what it's meant to do, and that is recognize people who missed lots and lots
I
of
want to
shots.
state for the record that I think Mac McClung is actually Alex Caruso with a wig, and he came in and wanted to show people like, hey, you're going to miss this white guy. And
he can dunk so well. Shouldn't he just dunk more? He should just dunk more.
I really think when they signed him, they were like, listen, we don't need Caruso. We'll just sign another little white dude.
Yeah.
He's super popular.
It'll make the beams. He'll make all the memes happen.
Bad. He was so bad. Anyway, par fadeaway, gentlemen. What things are we looking forward to? I will start because the Grizzlies regional caravan is coming to Nashville.
Hey now.
That's right. September 10th, there will be a basketball camp for the little kids. You can sign up for that at grizzlies.com. Also, they're coming to the Sounds game on Friday, September 10th, that same day. I know I'll be there. Hopefully, John and Chuck will join me. We'll be able to greet some people and say, hey. Also, if you're in Little Rock, I believe also Birmingham, Murray, Kentucky, St. Louis, the Grizzlies regional caravan is going all around the Mid-South, and it will feature Grizzlies personalities and entertainers. There will be the meet and greets, these free junior Grizz youth basketball clinics, plus Grizzlies giveaways, and also one lucky fan at each stop will win a weekend in Memphis getaway package that includes a 2-night stay at a downtown hotel, tickets to a Grizzlies game, and passes to local Memphis attractions. So all you people who are, I don't know, we're talking Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas, Alabama. Is that it? Georgia? Mississippi? Did I say that one? I don't know. If you're anywhere near Memphis, the Grizzlies are coming around near you. Visit grizzlies.com today for all the details to see where you can catch the Grizzlies regional caravan. All right. What are you guys looking forward to? That's going to be fun. I know it.
You mentioned it already, but I have to second the always fun, always delightful Millionaire Brunch edition this Sunday. Once more, get thee thine there. Have a take with us. Have a hoe cake with us.
Yeah,
let's eat some breakfast.
Jump in that
let's
Zoom.
nosh.
Let's talk about some basketball stuff. Chuck, what have you been up to? You got anything you're looking forward to? This is the dead time. Do you wake every morning and ask your computer, Siri, where is Laurie Markkinen?
That's not what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a Marvel TV show called What If? Disney Plus. It's great. It's basically like an alternate universe Marvel cartoon, voiced by the actors of the movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's great. I'm looking forward to.
You don't get money from them,
Keith. I'm gonna let you down here. I think I'm gonna watch this one.
You don't.
Yes,
I can't resist the what if story.
We need a check from Disney, Chuck. At the very least, I need a free Disney Plus login.
Look,
so
we've endured all these Lego takes. We can do one last Marvel.
Listen, hey, I'm working that Lego angle. I'm working the Lego angle. All right.
But like I actually have read very few Marvel comic books. One of my favorite runs is Marvel Zombies. And that was done by the Walking Dead guy.
Robert
Kirkman. So they have like
the Walking Dead comic or the Walking Dead show?
Both. He did the comic and the show before the show blew up. He was doing the comic.
That's repellent, like Gorilla. Was it Gorilla Biscuits?
Yeah,
Gorilla Biscuits.
Repellent.
But yeah, get to see like Marvel zombies in cartoon form. I can't wait.
You think
There's not much better than the old Marvel What If comics, I must say.
Are they going to push some envelopes?
I kind of doubt it.
We'll they got to play it kind of safe. Think
they're going to play safe.
Might do.
Man, outside of the basketball, because we finally hit like this is the true, like it stops. Like we hope Ben Simmons gets traded just to shake the snow globe of the NBA. I saw the betting lines for that are kind of wild.
Do tell.
It's Kings plus 275.
Whoa,
believable.
Warriors plus 550. Trailblazers plus 900. Spurs plus 1200. Those are the four most likely destinations, beyond staying in Philadelphia. Kings plus 275.
I think I like that Blazers line best of those for the
what
value.
That even look like? So, we're waiting for that. We're waiting for, I guess, a couple more people to figure out where they're going to go. Poor Lauri Markkanen going to have to go back with his tail between his legs, play on a qualifying offer.
Pay to play.
Chicago. But this time of year, I got to say, unrelated to basketball, I am locked in right now with watching the movies, and I'm not sure what's next, but the Amazon algorithm, the Prime Video algorithm,
they know
it finally locked in to like,
they're just like, white guy.
This is what you want. yeah. And like they've now understood kind of like the things I've been like, no, I don't watch that. I don't watch that. They're like, they threw me a movie the other day I'd never heard of called Backtrack.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing. And
they've got you in that like 8 Million Ways to Die zone.
Yeah, well, they knew like this guy likes crime movies. This guy has a certain like he wants there to be some A-list dudes. This is a movie I never heard of. Dennis Hopper stars in it. Jodie Foster is in it.
Whoa.
Joe Pesci is in it, uncredited, despite having a huge role. Because I watched this movie and I was just stunned. I'd never heard of it. It was really entertaining. It turns out it was released under a different name with an Alan J. Smithy director credit.
It really? It's probably Dennis Hopper probably directed that movie.
Yeah, so Dennis Hopper did direct it, but he hated the studio cut, took his name off of it. It was released as Catchfire back in the day.
Yeah. You left out, I think Fred Ward is in that movie, and I feel like they could just give you every Fred Ward movie and you'd be happy.
Fred Ward is in the movie. John Turturro's in the movie. Vincent Price is in the movie. Charlie Sheen is in the movie. Catherine Keener is in one scene in the movie. Paulie from Sopranos has a huge role.
If Dennis Hopper directed it, I guarantee you, I haven't seen this movie in a very long time, but I guarantee you Dean Stockwell is in this movie.
Yeah, and Dean Stockwell's in it. I'm telling you, this movie was made for an aging white guy, and I couldn't get over how every person in it was like a famous actor. I couldn't get over how I'd never heard of it. It's like a crime movie. There's some plot points that don't make any sense. All right.
People don't know, but Dennis Hopper was one of the great American directors.
Well, you say that. Mm-hmm. I also, in Googling this, found out that after making this movie, Jodie Foster basically told everyone she knew never work with Dennis Hopper.
Oh, he's also one of the greatest American cokeheads. So
I'm going to keep knocking back some of these movies that the Amazon Prime algorithm is saying like, hey man, you white, you like this.
I predict a lot of Roy Scheider in your future.
Well, they know I will watch a Roy Scheider. They know I will watch any Gene Hackman. Like they know I've like
Night Moves is coming for you, Keith.
Where I'm Night Moves is amazing. Yeah, I've seen that one. Like I'm talking about these are like I'm surprised because like I'm like somewhat I've watched a lot of movies and I feel like I generally know the names of most of the titles of movies from like 85 to present. I've heard of the movie and I was very surprised. It's because they changed the title and also it was a lost film. So that's what I'm going to get into over the next few weeks until it's not far away. We're going to start doing those butter or parquet previews in just a couple of weeks. And then it's the over-unders. And then the season's back. It's only like 7 weeks. So, a very short off season. But anyway, that is the show for this evening. Make sure you support our program at patreon.com/Fastbreak Breakfast. Seek out the YouTube version of these shows. It's fun to see the facial expressions I guess we make sometimes. Just search us out there. Subscribe to us so we can change the name of our channel. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitch, on Twitter, Fast Break Break. You guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Or is it? Could be a lie.